Well, thank you again, Bill, for tonight, and I think that Mike and I are both pleased, if I may, to be here tonight and to be having this conversation. And I want to say that this conversation confirms, although it's hardly been a conversation, you've asked some blind questions, so we'll talk after. But I want the issues that have been raised are consistent, I think, with what I'm hearing all over this district about the need for change. Let me just recap a few issues. On health care, we've got to guarantee everybody affordable health care by getting them good benefits, by making sure they can choose a plan, by making sure there's no discrimination based on pre-existing conditions, by making sure health insurance and health care are affordable, and by getting a control on that spiral of the health care costs. Health care, number one. Environment, we've talked about the environment. It's another place where we have got to begin to address such a serious problem. We have got to break our dependence on foreign oil. We've got to move away from our dependence on fossil fuels, invest in alternatives, and promote efficiency. When we talk about education, we have got, whether it's the earliest education, elementary school and high school, or our colleges, we have got to make it affordable for people to go to school, and we've got to enable our students to learn. So investing in education is very high on our list. And we've spent some time on foreign policy and the war, and in the war in Iraq. And let me just again be very clear. We have got to get our nation out of that war in Iraq and start doing it now, have it done in 18 months, and restore our reputation for leadership around the world. Elections are about choices. I want to close by asking for your support and your vote on June 10th so that together we can bring the change we need. Thanks.
This entire primary election, in my judgment, and it's clearly your judgment that matters, but I would cast it in as the difference between theory and application, between science and engineering. The science is wonderful. We all, as Democrats, want us out of Iraq. We want universal health care. The rub is in the details, in the specific proposals, in the measurable and accountable actions that we as candidates propose that we would take to affect the solutions that we claim as our common ground as Democrats. I have proposed a specific rule and timetable to extract U.S. troops from Iraq on my website. I have proposed a specific universal health care plan with details of how it would be paid for. I have proposed a specific solution to the housing crisis as a first step, which is literally embodied in H.R. 3221, which was voted and approved by the House yesterday. I have proposed specific short-term measures to alleviate the transportation problems in Northern Virginia. And I have proposed a specific detailed set of steps that we can take to begin to alleviate the veterans' health care crisis. These are dire issues. This is not a business as usual, politics as usual year or election. We simply must take very seriously who we choose to put into elected office, who we choose to run against Frank Wolf, who simply must be beaten this year because he is simply not engaged in these issues at any level. He's on autopilot, and we simply can't tolerate in a post-9/11 world an autopilot congressman. We need men and women of action, of courage, of principled, substantive leadership. I spent my entire adult life in public service. Almost all of it has not been talking the talk. It's been walking the walk, where the decisions that I made, often on limited information, held lives in the balance. I am ready to be your congressman, and I would be honored to have your vote on June 10th. Thank you.